In today's episode of Being in My 30s, going back to school with kids and full-time job, I was surprised with a lovely trip to Mount Hood. So come along with me as we have a little bit of fun today before we get back into the struggle of life. As you can see right there, things ain't so hot. We started our journey by driving 2 hours to get to the Mount Hood train station. No complaints though, because interesting conversations with family and the ABC game got us through. And this is the small little unassuming building for the train station. Don't be deceived though, because if it looks like it's small and quaint and cute and slow, about 30 minutes after that, that place was poppin'. It was packed to the brim with people ready to go on this trip. And honestly, I loved seeing it. I love seeing people enjoy Oregon. The ride took about an hour and a half, very slow, relaxing. We only had one switchback, so it really didn't take that long to get there. The staff were amazing. We had a drink service that came through. We had snacks that we got to enjoy. And the conductor taught us a lot about where we were going, the history behind it. So it was really interesting to learn about some Oregon history that I never knew. When we finally did arrive, I had no idea what we were going to walk into. I thought that building looked like a dingy dungeon that was going to be like a fruit production line type of thing, but I was absolutely blown off my feet when we got in there. We were greeted with fresh peaches that were so good.
They also had a ton of historical displays set up, which was really interesting to see. They had an original picker's cabin as well, which you'll see here in a second. And I found out that that was real and used. It was disassembled and then reassembled back in this factory. So very cool to see a little bit of original history. After that, we ended up going to the Mount Hood Winery for just a little bit of wine while we relaxed outside looking at the vineyard. We didn't have much time and we didn't want to miss our trolley, so we were off to the next stop. Looking back at this footage, one thing I wish that I could have everybody experience is just the feeling of the air, the smells. It was an absolutely breathtaking experience to be able to see a side of Oregon that I've never been able to see before. We eventually arrived to the Hope Ranch Lavender Farm, and this was by far my most favorite stop of the entire trip. I wish you could all smell that lovely lavender smell that was out in the air. And being with all of those lovely people chatting, picking our own lavender, it really gave me a new appreciation for life and the small things that we tend to forget. So that was a refresher that I really needed in my life. The next stop was to a very small marketplace. Apparently this was 5th generation owned, and they produced all of their own jellies, jams, pickled items, and I cannot explain enough how amazing all of these items were. We ended up picking up a bunch of pickles and jams to take home with us. The very last stop of the day was to this very 70s looking building, which was Panorama Point, which looks at Mount Adams as well as Mount Hood. And of course, what family trip would be complete without a local pizza stop? And Pietro's Pizza in Portland, I thought I knew pizza, but after eating at this place, it was the difference between Pizza by Alfredo and Alfredo's Pizza. And this place was Alfredo's Pizza. And finally, heading back home, it made me appreciate seeing new parts of a state that I love very much and spending that time with my family that is encouraging me to better my life and go through these struggles in order to get to a better place for myself and for my kids. And I was able to appreciate every single little part of this trip, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the warmth of the sunshine. If you can come to Oregon, please go see Mount Hood. But if not though, I hope that everybody out there can find a little bit of life today to appreciate too.